Yeah.
All right, we have made it. Hello, hello. I'm gonna give everybody a chance here to jump on, but we are finally here. We are live, and thank you for being here. We have today Zach Marcus, who was a writer on the episode. Hello. And we have Erica Bauza, who is doing his first voiceover job for the Owl House.
Well, yeah. At least joining you guys live. Thank you for having me.
That's right. Who's the voice of Principal Faust, who haunted my nightmares.
That's right.
We have Rebecca Rose, who we know and love. We have Avi Roque.
Oh, Jesus.
A fan favorite.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Who's breaking
Almost.
things already.
Okay.
And of course, Sarah-Nicole Robles. Thank you,
Happy to
everybody,
see you all.
for joining
Thank you for
us.
coming back for the Post Hoot.
Yes.
Hope you're caught up. There will be many spoilers if you haven't seen this past Saturday's episode.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Them's the Breaks, kids,
Yep.
go. Leave.
Go.
Them's the
Round
Breaks,
up
We
well.
literally.
also have donuts.
Yes.
This
Brought to you.
this hoot bag brought to you
Side
by
donut
And we have
Donut Prince.
cookies. We're very excited about cookies. Okay, so let's do a little recap about the episode. So this is a sweet, sweet flashback ep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get baby Raine and baby Ida and baby Lilith, and they're voiced by incredible actors.
Yes.
We tried to do the baby voices and it didn't work, but it's fine.
Yes. Literally.
I never get cast as my younger self in anything
No.
either. I always blow it.
It was actually really nice to see other people
Yeah.
get a chance to get in there.
And that was actually baby Principal Faust we were seeing for the first time. So if you thought his voice was deep, wait till he gets older. No. That was just his adult form.
I did love seeing Principal Bump all like super
Yes.
nervous.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Timid bump.
That was really
and
cute.
optimistic. That
Yeah,
was new
yeah.
for him.
That's right. So Luce is trying out different glyphs to try to get the portal door to work.
Yes, glyph combos.
Right, and nearly gets eaten by a thing. And Ida decides to tell a little story. Zach, how did this idea come up for you guys when you were writing?
Oh gosh, this is like on the spot. I mean, like how? Well, no, it's like we wrote the episode. I feel like I wrote it like at least a year ago. It's like we started writing it pre-pandemic. It finished in the pandemic, but we were at a point in the story. Maybe you guys realize that like, well, things are getting kind of spicy on the Hoot House, and there needed to be like a bit of a breather episode. And we have always wanted to kind of explore backstories for like the characters that we have, and we have a bunch of stuff that you guys have seen for King, and we've stuff for like Luce, but we really haven't gotten to explore Ida outside of just like the curse.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, the curse is really cool, and like that's been there from like development. It's like always been like a huge part of the character and like a big driving force for her. But by the end of the first season, it's like it's less of that, and it becomes like more of a story of her like taking a maternal role and like meeting this person from like their past and it becoming like a big part of it. And we were like, well, let's just like dig in with this because it's like juicy and we want to see like the baby versions.
Yes.
Like,
Give the people what they want.
yeah,
I
100%.
loved it so much.
So it was really trying to find out a way to introduce the two characters together. And like, honestly, the first few passes on it, they were a lot more antagonistic, actually.
Really?
Yeah. They were not, Raine was like, more of like this badass sort of like
Yeah, you were bossy boots. I remember from like
Yeah.
the previous script.
And like Raine came in and as Ida sort of like thrust into sort of like the antagonistic sort of fight with this person to like same thing where it was like around getting the badge to like make sure that Ida could stay in school. But on the second or third pass, Dane was like, it's really not working. Like this is not like what I want from like this episode. From these characters, it just seems like unnatural for like how they end up.
Yeah.
And so we switched it to like the way it is now, where like very quickly and like they have like an immediate friendship. And
it.
yeah, no, it's like it's very, very sweet.
I love that it's not like everything's gonna be a fight and that's how things are solved. Like the fist bump. By the way, Dana's on the stream.
Hi, Dana.
Hey, I hope you're feeling well.
Yes,
back to
yeah,
that.
lots of
Feeling
feeling.
better.
Chubby asleep.
We have donuts.
You know what
for
time
you.
it is?
We have so many donuts.
Yeah.
But no, I love that it's this sweet, like, simpatico relationship from the start, and there's
Yeah.
like sweetness and camaraderie, and
And it doesn't have to be like everyone's competing. Like,
And
neither of you are interested in that.
the reveal at the end that Raine is like,
You little whistle trick.
knows what's what. Oh my
Whistling.
god.
Oh, yeah,
I was
that-
so
I totally
relieved.
forgot about that part.
I was so.
So did you
relieved.
watch it? You're
you
just like,
had me stressed.
I forgot. I was like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in that.
My notes. I wrote so many notes. None of them make sense.
I know. We try to take
I wrote
notes
moon
and then
villain. I don't know what that means.
We just get excited to like see everybody.
I wrote moon villain. I took notes.
Oh my god. Can I say I love the twirl? I love their dance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, their handshake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The little
The-
the shake, the head, that
the
whole
board
situation.
team, like Bridget's board team, just really did like fantastic job with it.
Yeah.
There's like a few shots in it where I'm just like, whoa, that is like so smart. Like specifically, I always think of in the finale sequence when like Raine and Ida are like in the maze, like you know, kind of fighting for their like lives. When Ida like magics a golem into like a staircase and like does a cool flip off of it, I was like, that's the coolest shit I've like ever seen.
That's the best use of that skill.
And I'm pretty certain that was like Sabrina's scene, and Sabrina just like is a wizard. Like Sabrina's always been a super talented artist. If you guys don't follow Sabrina, they were a director on the first season and have been like doing things at like other studios since. You should definitely check out their work.
It's so great.
cool.
It's so great. I loved all of the baby parents.
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh,
we
yes,
got
Odalia
so
and,
many questions.
Alidor,
Yes, we got so many
Darius.
questions.
Saw them.
We saw.
Oh yes, is that Bosch's parents? Are they a couple?
So the one that looks like Basha with the pink hair and
Yes.
green eyes is definitely Basha's mom.
What?
Okay.
No. Spoiler.
I knew it.
The other student, I can't say. I wasn't around for the pre-production.
Have you seen?
But I do know that their name is Larry. That's what it is in our art tracking
Okay.
system. They're called
Larry.
Larry. So
Larry.
that is
All right.
that is the name. I don't know who named them. Sometimes production people just get to like, here are these incidentals. Now name them because it's easier than just like giving them like a number. So
That's
we're like,
very funny.
Sure.
I love that. And then we got to see Willow's dads.
Yes.
yes, Harvey and Gilbert.
They're so
Yeah.
cute. I love them.
I played one of them. Mr.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
But you're not credited as their actual name.
It's like Mr.
They don't.
Park.
It's
Yeah.
like it's an additional
If
bonus.
you-
It's just
if you
Mr.
don't-
Park.
No,
Shade,
Eric Bauza.
shade,
Shame
shade.
on you. First off, Eric Bauza is he's actually my voice right now. He's speaking as me right
sounds-
now.
It's a trick. It's like
been
ventriloquism.
true.
Yeah.
with all of us.
Kids, there was a little art form back in the day called ventriloquism.
Cully Waldron.
Long before animation. Yeah.
So Eric Bauza is one of the workingest men in this business. He is Bugs Bunny.
That's right, Doc.
I have to
Oh my
do
god,
it
I'm
when
gonna
you
make
say
you do
the
all
name.
of them.
Yeah.
Okay, Daffy Duck,
Yes, that's true.
Porky Pig,
Yes, sometimes, not all
This
the
is Paradise,
Yeah.
Foghorn Leghorn,
I'll say, yeah, the box of donuts says chicken.
Elmer
Go
Fudd.
get him.
Be very, very
Oh my
quiet.
God.
I'm hunting Faust's.
and Marvin the Martian.
Isn't that lovely?
Oh wow, I'm done. I quit.
But yeah, anytime I get to,
Mickey
you
Mouse
know,
dying.
yeah, anytime I get to step out of those characters and do something original like something like Principal Faust, and work with someone like Dana, it's always a treat. And that was definitely something that was done during the pandemic in my walk-in closet, where I had to ride those levels.
So let
'cause
me ask: was this an audition that you did, or was this a direct booking?
It was one of those things where I think it was just thrown at me. Just try to, if I remember, Dana, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was just something that we kind of was just like, just do it. What would he sound like? And I had no idea what he looked like. And when I saw the episode, I
Did
was
you know
like,
Dana from DuckTales?
even Gravity Falls, DuckTales, and then now this.
Who were you in Gravity Falls? Because this fandom is.
I was Seuss's father.
missed
I
that in
was
my
it was basically like my Antonio Banderas impression. It was kind of like it was Seuss, you've never met me, but what you remember me as a Mexican wrestler mixed with a character from a hot sauce bottle is basically what it was.
Amazing.
And then of course on DuckTales I was all of the Beagle Boys, and by that I mean there was 28 Beagle Boys, and I did all. Oh my God. I remember there was one episode where all 28 Beagle Boys from around the world show up, and I'm like, they're never going to hire me for the rest of the season because I blew their budget on casting, and sure enough, they did not return until the next season. And but when you see that episode, the card,
My jaw's on the ground.
yeah, the card is really funny because it's like my name and then this giant paragraph. And
So
you
how
know,
did you plan that? Like, did you have 28 voices in preparation?
no,
Did you take notes?
the original ones were Big Time Burger and Bouncer. So there's always like a fast talking one, a slow one, and then one that mumbled, and then like times that by however many. I don't know if maybe Dana worked on that episode, but
I think she had to go to sleep. So.
okay. Good night, Dana.
Hi, Dana.
2 shots at NyQuil and she's out. But getting to work with her on something original of her
Yes.
very, very own. And again, up until this point on the show, I had just been voicing weird, like, tiny rat characters, gremlin characters. But when she was like, oh, there's a principal, and this precedes Bump becoming
Right.
the principal.
Had you seen it like a drawing of him or?
Yeah.
Not even a drawing. So when I saw it, I was like Guillermo del Toro nightmare fuel.
Yes,
Can we
that's
talk
what
about
it
the
was.
tail?
It was just
Yeah,
perfect.
the constant
no, the
tail
lips and the
for-
teeth. Like,
His head like
Oh my
cracks
God,
and
did
like
that
turns
crack.
around.
So I remember recording it and like, okay, do an evil laugh, and it's like, ha, 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 whatever it is. And then we had to ADR it because he has no lips. So yeah,
That's incredible because I was watching. I was like, how'd you know?
yeah. No, I had no idea, and that's just the magic of what we do as voiceover artists, right? It's like we think of something in the booth, and then it just magically gets married to the writing and the picture, and that's it. I guess that's the other magic aside from the obvious magic on Owl House happening there. But yeah.
And Zach, I wanted to ask about you were on Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Yeah. That's why my first job in animation was on Star.
And how did you get into that?
That's like a long story. If you want to like
Well, so
get
we
how
have
I.
we have a lot of aspiring writers and
Everyone
Very
just
cool.
wants to-
Okay.
We got 700 questions for the two.
All
of
right,
you.
so let me preface this by saying I fucked up a lot as a kid. Then like not in like exciting ways either.
Look at all those hearts.
Yeah.
Relatable.
They're like, me
Love the
too.
redemption arc.
That's me right now.
I fucked up a lot. Like I am a high school dropout.
Yes.
Oh, more hearts.
Yeah.
do you know one of the most successful voice actors I know is a high school dropout?
I'm not a voice actor though, so it's like it's hard.
Yeah, no, what you do is hard.
I worked like a bunch of like random jobs. I worked in construction. I sold shoes. I was a graveyard shift phone operator, and like all sorts of like dumb random bullshit. But like throughout the entire time, I had been like drawing comics, drawing and writing comics. I ended up in Savannah, Georgia. Because I grew up in San Diego, and one day I was just like, "Fuck this town forever!" Hop in my car, and I
drove to Georgia.
Yeah, no, I straight up, I just like started driving across the country. Like
It's like 40 hours.
I used to tell people I was writing my name across the country because I took like a very strange path.
Jeremy, baby.
Yeah, and like ended up in Savannah, Georgia, and there's an art school there, SCAD, Savannah College Art and Design, and I
That's a really unfortunate.
So what,
name.
you decided to skip
It
high
sounds
school
like
and go
wild
right
animal.
to art school?
no,
Stepped in some
I did
SCAD.
not get to even do that.
Okay.
Like, so I was there, and I was introduced to a group of like kids that went by Team Fun.
Okay.
Who were like this group of kids that were in the sequential art comics degree there.
Okay.
And I became their friend, like friends with all of them. And one of them was Becky Drystad, whom was one of the character designers on Star. Also a character designer on the on Adventure Time.
Oh my gosh.
On what's Becky working on now? Becky's on a bunch of stuff. Becky is like the most fantastic painter I've like ever met in my entire life. But like at that point, we're all just like dumb kids in our like early 20s, and I met her then boyfriend Frank, whom is now her husband, and they used to come out to San Diego for Comic-Con every year, and I had moved back to San Diego at that point because like Savannah kind of sucks. It's like there's this thing that you don't understand if you're like a Californian, you grow up in Southern California. It's like it's called weather. And when you're in Georgia and it's like the summer and it's 99% humidity and like 100 degrees and you just like die when you think of getting outside.
Yes.
Like
Swimming.
yeah,
Swimming.
yeah, it's brutal.
3 showers a day.
Whether you
But they
get in the water or not.
it's they
I grew up a swamp person, so
it's
I felt the opposite. I felt like SpongeBob when I came here, and I was like,
So dry. Yeah.
I have humidifiers all over my house. Like it looks like I was aquatic animals. Yeah, that's what my apartment is like. It's always swampy. That's the only way I'm comfortable.
it's that sounds like death.
Stay out here.
But So I had these friends that I met who were like coming back and forth between New Zealand and San Diego for Comic-Con. We'd have a table every year at Comic-Con. And eventually, like, Zach, we're going to move out to LA and, like, we want to try and get animation. Like, do you want to be our roommate? And at this point, like, I'm selling, like, designer shoes, like, at Cole Haan. and like do.
I've had
I
worse
was
jobs. I've had
fucking
worse.
good at it too.
Yes.
No, top salesman, men's salon, yeah.
See, look, you were on your come up.
No, there was a very low plateau for like where that could actually go. But they're like, you want to be a roommate? I'm like, yeah, fucking anything's gonna be better than this. And I move up here, and like I did not realize animation was a career path, even though I've been like
What
watching.
do you think they were doing?
I don't fucking know, dude. like I said, I'm a high school dropout. I'm not a smart man. So I get out here, it's like animation's a career, and like all the people we're meeting are like these people working in the industry and stuff. I'm like, holy shit, like maybe I could do this. And I took a bunch of tests and tried to get on shows, and I was like, oh, that's not fucking happening. And I like hit my limit. I was running a restaurant in Los Feliz, Spitz in Los Feliz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to run Spitz in Eagle Rock. I ran the Spitz in Los Feliz.
I've been to both of your businesses.
Oh yes. And I was like, yeah, this sucks. And a friend of ours, she we'd have people who lived in the same complex as us, and we'd come and like watch bad movies all the time. And she's like, oh, my friend, she just got accepted to Cal Arts, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Cal Arts? Oh, it's like animation. That's a school. Okay, I'll apply there. Not knowing it's like the most prestigious animation program in the country.
I have it in my notes. Spoiler alert, folks.
Yeah.
He got in.
Alumni.
He got in.
Yeah, I got in. I was 29 when I got into college for the first time.
Somebody's asking, what have you not done? I think at this point.
What about your GED? Did they not care? They were like, yeah.
No,
just go
I had a
about it.
CHSPE.
Okay.
Which is like
I don't know what that is.
It's the California High School Proficiency Examination. It's like similar,
okay.
but I can't voluntarily join the military, which has been like a thorn in my side forever.
That's a very bizarre loophole.
It's
I'm going to reflect on that.
yeah, it's weird.
Okay, so you get into the most prestigious.
Yeah,
school.
as a 29-year-old, as like surrounded by like 18 and 17-year-old like wonder children, like kids who are like talent I will never be like near, but like they're like we just need like an old man to like kind of shepherd them through. I guess.
Make sure no one dies at the party.
Yeah. Chaperone.
And I did like a year and a half of Cal Arts. I'm like, okay, I'm like 30 now. I gotta start my fucking life. And I dropped out. Whichever was like, that's the worst idea you will ever make, Zach. And I started taking tests, and Star, at this point, season 1 was wrapped, but they hadn't greenlit it for a second season. And it had been such a long like passage of time between like the season finishing and like a potential season 2. It wasn't greenlit yet. Like everybody had basically moved on, and they just needed people, and it was a board-driven show. So it's like, as a storyboard artist, you're doing the writing as well. You get an outline, you do the boards, you do the writing. It's super fun, and for a person who like does comics, it's very natural feeling. Yeah. I took a test on that. They really liked it, and they brought me in, and that was sweet because like I was really not looking forward to going back to Spitz.
Which one though? You ran two.
I would
Was
go
one
the,
worse than the other one?
one?
Where did you equally had it?
it was like the Los Feliz one was worse.
Okay.
There were like it was worse like because we had beer and wine there, and so it was just
okay.
like it was easy to drink your sorrows.
Sure.
And which were many.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good motto for life, basically. Drink yourself.
Yeah. So I was on that for like.
Pretty sure that's a lyric in the Cheers theme song.
Oh, God.
Or if it's not, it should be.
Right.
So like from there on Star, at one point there was a. Joe Books was a project that was started by some ex-Disney publishing people, and they were trying to do comics based on like Disney properties, like new Disney properties.
Very cool.
And Star Wars picked up as one they wanted to do. They wanted to do a comic book series. And so if like any of you watched Star, and you maybe had bought the Star Deep Trouble comic series. And since I was the only person who'd like done comics, I guess at that point in the crew, even though Sabrina had been doing it for like years, Darren asked me if I wanted to like write it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds tight.
Also better than Spitz.
Yeah, also better than Spitz. Like, I was doing that in addition to being a board artist on the show.
Trying to give everyone equal screen time.
Yeah, sorry that I'm just like hogging this.
We're all just sorry.
Did you write any Cloudy episodes?
Yeah, I was going to say, who did you play on?
Yeah.
Cloudy. I was
Yeah.
Cloudy.
I didn't get
I
any
knew you
Cloudy
were gonna be in
episodes.
it.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, I was trying to see if there was like any episodes that you had like that I had done that you had been on from Star, and I couldn't find. I think like I was the one person who dodged you somehow.
That's why you look so
All
young
comes together today.
and so full of life. But yeah, it's always interesting to meet people, and again, even though we have this pandemic, still in animation, sometimes we never get to meet each other until the show's wrapped or a
That's
party.
kind of why we wanted to do this, was
Yeah.
to see people IRL.
And
Yeah.
also,
Or get to know
like,
people.
I went at our first, like, season 1 party.
Yeah.
They, like, invited me, and I was like, why? I don't know. I chased Dana around the room like her and Dana are the only people I've ever met.
Yeah.
And so I went in and I was just like standing there with my drink. Like I was like, okay, I should be here for like 30 minutes, and then I could sneak out and like I was polite.
That's
you know,
a
but I
that's a
don't know
Gray
anyone.
Delisle move.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
Gray will show up for the
You
burrito
just
and
don't-
leave.
You don't even know who you'd be introduced to. Like it would just be like real cold. Like, hi, who are you? I'm
Yeah.
Nikki. Like,
Yeah.
I'm Moose.
I'm Moose.
Are you familiar with her? Like, I don't know how any of this works. And Cissy, thank God, ran up to me and was like, hi, I'm Cissy. I'm Lilith. And I was
Yeah.
like, Lilith. I was like, you're speaking my language.
You found your
I'm
people.
Moose. Yeah, I was like, okay. And it's like, I was like, who is everyone? Like,
I miss everybody.
And we were the only voice actors that were there.
I think so, yeah.
You were the only ones that were loud,
And
actually,
David
guys.
It was before the launch.
Yeah,
You're the
it was
ones
so
had
early.
scurvy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
before episode 1 even dropped, so it was
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was a wild party, though.
yeah. At Idle Hour.
That's how I got my loose poster.
Yeah.
I stole her. I said, that's me.
You took her home?
Gorgeous.
How big was it?
She's like 5 feet tall.
That's
At my parents'
amazing. That's the
I have to
best.
Go get her.
Oh no, she's at my parents' house because she was scaring me and Robbie a lot, just hanging out in the
Oh,
background.
jeez Louise.
Big eyes, yeah, she was like 5 feet tall.
Oh my gosh.
When I took her, I was like, Dana, I'm gonna take this. She was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Thank God, there's other people like me out there.
Dana
I
was
love.
completely sober at the time.
Definitely knew what she was agreeing to.
Totally sober.
I was like, let me sneak out of here before I get too drunk. I'll sneak out of here with the poster. No one will know. It's the perfect point in the night. Like,
Now, Eric, you started as an engineer, is that correct?
Production assistant all around. I
Okay.
was doing, everything from kids. They used to have this thing called a fax machine, and it was kind of like a combination of the phone and a printer.
and
Yeah,
then
you
just
would send
faith,
stuff.
blind faith.
Yeah, hopefully you'd get a signal. No, yeah, production assisting, and then I moved into. I used to edit animatics. I used to clean up storyboards. Then I used to do character layout, and then I would do temporary dialogue for
Scratch, yeah.
scratch dialogue, and that's kind of how my work started to outweigh my day job working in animation.
So great.
So
I believe that.
So
yeah.
great.
Yeah,
So were you doing Scratch for like Bugs Bunny and stuff like that, or was it?
Oh
for
no!
other stuff?
Maybe one of the first things that I did scratch for that ended up being a booking on a show was El Tigre: The Adventures of Manny Rivera on Nickelodeon.
Oh my gosh.
By Jorge Gutierrez and Sandra Ikiwa, who
yeah,
did
okay, yeah.
Maya and the Three. But yeah, Jorge was so bent on having me, on the show, and Nickelodeon was like, "Is he a psychopath? Is he going to kill us all? Like, who is this Canadian guy? We have Tom Kenny here. We have Carlos Alazraqui. We have Tara Strong. We have
Just
so
in
many
the
other
building.
people. Yeah,
Just in the building.
just
Yeah,
waiting,
yeah.
waiting to do voices." But lo and behold, they fought for me, and then Nickelodeon was like, "Okay, he's not a psycho that we know of." And in the booth, yeah, at least in the booth, I can hold my own. But what was cool about that was I was still working in animation as an artist, so I would go to Nickelodeon, do the voice, drive to 6 Point Harness, who is like one of the overseas animators, overseas being in Hollywood, and I would be drawing my own scenes on the show.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I would be like drawing White Pantera and voicing him at the same time.
So how did you just learn to because you don't just do voices, you do voice matching too. Like you're
Yeah.
not just a character. You match spot on. How?
I think it's just you got to have that ear, I guess.
It's a musicality.
There's
Yeah.
something about people who, and again, even with voiceover,
Yeah.
you study acting, and even you study the text, you study what it means, like what the scripts mean, like the being grounded in reality. But there's still kind of a cadence, even if it's your own natural one.
Yeah.
If you have that magical ability to make things original and sound like catchphrases,
Yeah.
like Mike Myers or Jim Carrey, all like Catherine O'Hara. I'm talking about Canadian comedians. That's what I grew up watching.
You just named all my
Yeah,
favorites.
yeah. But there's something that's so cool about being an original. I mean, I do love to voice match, but I guess the dream of the voice actor or actress is to come up with that voice that all the kids are doing in the
I've
schoolyard.
done a ton of scratch too, and that was the thing. I was like,
Same.
oh, can I just be someone in the background? Like,
Yeah,
I'll
right?
do any voice you
Yeah.
want.
At the beginning.
Is
And
it a
even
baby? Is it 300 years old? I
Yeah.
don't care. Like, I will do anything. Like,
I did all of Charlize Theron's stuff for like
No
years.
way.
Like all of her trailer,
Yeah, the stuff that they don't want to
Did
do
you
or they have
ever
time
meet
to
her?
do.
No, like apparently she was in a Mommy and Me class with a friend of mine, and I was like, tell her that I do all of her voice acting. I was like, that's really good.
It's creepy, and I promise you she doesn't get it.
Yeah, I do the voice match for Antonio Banderas for DreamWorks for Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
There is a certain way to do it.
Right,
And
yeah.
not be offensive.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he was promoting a movie, and they were talking about BBC News had interviewed him about the movie, and then they started talking about the Puss in Boots series that was on Netflix. It went on for 5 seasons.
Yeah.
It was one of the last things that Andrea Romano worked on as a voice director. She was great. And I remember I read this article because like I saw my name was in it. They're like, there's this young Canadian lad doing your voice now, not you. Does that bother you? And then Antonio said, that is okay, because that only means I created a character that is so popular, I do not have to be there for him to exist. So basically, he was saying, like, he's Santa, and I'm Mall Santa. Like, I'm imposter Puss in Boots. And that's the most amazing, like, compliment you could ever get.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did like the tiniest few things for Rihanna.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was like I think my first gig ever too, just voice matching her. And when I did it, I showed it to my husband. He's like, "Oh, that wasn't good." And I was like, I agree. I did my best. I was like, I had to send in something,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I got it.
And
I
you
was
booked
like,
it.
And I was like, you don't know anything. You don't know genius. And then I did it, and then they're like, yeah, Rihanna approved your voice. And I was like, Rihanna heard my
That's crazy, right? They do
if I
have
did
to.
nothing else for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
I could go to sleep and
Yeah.
be like, Rihanna heard mine.
Yeah. No, it's
That was
like,
true, like
it
the
is.
first audition I had for Charlize was for 1,000 Ways to Die in the West or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, no way.
A Million Ways to Die in the
Yeah,
West.
the
that
Seth
movie.
MacFarlane film.
Yeah, and I did the audition. I was like, well, that's trash. And I almost didn't send it in, and then I booked it, and
Yeah.
I was her voice match for like 5 years.
For
Incredible. No, I
voiceover.
definitely was not as good as you.
Oh. Well, apparently good enough for Rihanna.
Rihanna
Yeah.
won.
That's right.
Wait, so did you want to be a voice actor when you got into animation, or was it like midway through?
You know what? I definitely had that feeling in my heart. I always wanted to do voiceover, but I didn't know how, and I didn't go to school for dramatic arts.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's
Go
like
on.
being a dropout. You don't have to. You don't have to do it,
That's
and
right.
it'll just happen if
There's
you
no
want
path.
it to
You
happen.
can change paths. It's real
Yeah.
easy, in
That's true.
fact.
You could write the best episode of Owl House and own a tattoo shop in San Diego.
That's right.
San
By
Diego?
the way.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I go to tattoo shop in San Diego,
If
guys.
there's any overlap with that
If you're in North County, San Diego, and you want sweet tattoos or piercings, come by 454.
do you give an Owl House discount? Because I got some stuffing.
I don't.
There's no discount for the Owl House.
The
man.
artists are independent contractors. I cannot control their pricing.
It's a date. It's cool. We have other places in mind, so I don't.
Gonna shop around.
I mean, like, look, it's right by the
I'm
beach.
messy.
It's the best tattoo shop there.
You too. Oh no, my arm. I'll go to San Diego. Fine.
I love San Diego.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna get a Faust tattoo on my back.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be nothing creepier than a Faust, like the horns
horns
going
over the
from
shoulders.
yeah.
Yeah.
like a
right down
Chicago
the
Bulls
side.
tattoo.
Neck crack.
Chicago
You get the
Bulls.
side neck crack, so the horns go from the front of your back.
And you get a
wait,
little tail around
so-
your belly.
Oh yeah.
Just wrap it
The
around.
neck crack's funny because, like, you know when he does like the hard like head turn, like that was, I believe, Yasmin Kudari's scene, and in that scene, in the board, the room is too small, and so Yasmin's like, how can I actually get
my
this
God.
character's head to turn? And it's like spin, and it's like it's so
It's great.
wild, and like
Yeah.
it's
So
completely
disturbing.
unnecessary against like the actual background, but it like fits perfectly with the character.
Yeah, it really does.
So we got to find out whatever happens to like how does
Yeah.
you
What's
know
your downfall?
I don't know. I mean, do we know? I don't think we do.
No, we don't.
I'm gonna assume it's Tara. I'll be completely honest.
Snapchat.
Yeah, like in my mind when I was writing it, it's just like these two. They had a history. Yeah, like, and I tried to put that. Sometimes you try and put like really juicy stuff in the scripts, and Dana takes it out, and like that's, it's like her show. I'm gonna throw her under the bus since she's not watching.
Secretly still.
They're gonna be quoting you to her tomorrow.
That's fine. She knows exactly how I feel about. Like, I am very blunt with Dana. But yeah, like sometimes the entire writer's room definitely ships things, and we are
Yeah,
pulled
of
back
course.
in very real ways.
Yeah.
Like there was definitely an episode that had Bump with a love interest at one point.
What?
Yeah, that Molly Ostertag had been writing. So if you know Molly, you know exactly what kind of love interest that was.
Wasn't silky.
It was a very, very elven man.
Amazing.
It's what it was gonna be. That we got shot down.
No.
But like, yeah, no, we like. Look, the writers are just as bad as you guys in terms of shipping stuff. Like, we're just in charge of it. So like,
Yeah, you can just make it canon.
yeah.
Like,
Well, we fight to make it canon.
yeah.
That's right.
Now,
That's right.
speaking of this, people were also asking about Darius and Raine. Do you have any backstory for us there that we're like that we've not gotten, or you're feeling, or you shipped, or
For Darius and Raine,
yeah,
um,
that you can say without any spoilers? That was a question.
all I can say, and this is going to just be like maybe trolly, is there was a lot of stuff that I had to fight to not have happen.
Oh.
And I don't know what that stuff is, guys. I don't remember anymore. It's been a long time.
I remember being angry.
Yeah, I remember being like, let's
Okay, so we'll spin off of that. Why doesn't Bump have a vice principal then? Now that we know
Right.
Oh, snap.
Fausty had him.
Look, I'm stumped, guys. No, at one point, okay, so at one point, Tibbles was the principal.
Oh.
Really?
I'm so glad it's not friggin' Tibbles.
Yeah,
Fake Tibbles.
Tibbles was the principal at one point, and I don't think there was a vice principal there. But like, let's just say Tibbles is the vice principal, guys. No, I love Tibbles. He's such a piece of shit.
Yeah, Lucy would lose it. That Lucy would lose
He's
it.
great. Like, there's not a lot of our characters
losing it.
are like a lot of our characters are it's hard to hate them.
Yeah.
And like
Except for Tibbles.
Tibbles is just like Tibbles, and like, oh man, people hated Bartholomew when I first wrote
Oh
him.
yeah.
Oh, you wrote that.
Oh yeah. Oh hell
Still
yeah.
don't know if I super forgive him. I'm like, what?
Oh man, and like when I wrote him and like I came up with his name, our original story editor Rachel Vine's like, "There's no way we're using that fucking name." I love that.
You're like, no.
And,
It's perfect.
and,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm just like, it's
disagree,
fucking
Rachel.
Bartholomew. It's like the dumbest thing I can fucking think of. But like honestly, J-Bo or John Bailey
Yeah,
Owen,
who was on the
like
show
you guys,
last. J-Bo was here.
okay, you guys call him J-Bo. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Some people like live different lives. But like J-Bo injected a lot of like the character into like Bartholomew.
Okay,
Like
good.
J-Bo can do the sniveling like shit real well.
The pathetic, like, characters.
Oh,
my God.
I would have him be the main character if I could. It's 'cause it'd be like an Always Sunny thing where it's just like he's constantly just
Yeah.
like being beaten.
Yeah.
Because like, oh, you love to see it.
I just
So Raine, we have to talk about. We have to get to you now. People were wondering. Oh, there's so many good things. Okay, you all had great questions this week. Keep up the great content.
Yeah, seriously, great question.
I'm gonna give a shout out while you're looking at questions to Blue Del Barrio.
Mm-hmm.
I did not have to like the fact that they still found a younger voice,
Who's
and
so
for
good.
someone who is
Yeah.
non-binary
So
as
good.
well,
Yep.
like that
Represent.
just speaks volumes again to the team.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I just like I've connected with them on social media, and they're just lovely, and they're also on what is it, Star?
Versus the Force.
Yes, Star Trek.
Oh,
Star
Star
Trek.
Below Decks or like the
Or
or
Prodigy.
the
Prodigy.
yeah.
Is that it?
I think so.
They
The-
play
the Nickelodeon
Adira,
one?
but it's
Yes, I saw
Star
that.
Trek something else.
The newest
something,
one.
something.
The new one that's
The new
about
one.
Star,
Wow,
yeah.
shame on me.
Star Trek, shame on me.
Star Trek, shame on me. No.
Roddenberry approved.
Yeah, they did such an awesome job, and it's just
Cool.
again, I cannot. It just makes me continuously grateful to be a part of a series like this.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just fantastic. All right, questions.
I got questions.
Okay.
From fans, straight from fans.
Oh dear.
Who's more chaotic, Raine or Ida? Now that we have the full backstory.
Oh. Okay, I don't know. I always try to answer with my gut. I'm gonna say Raine. Sometimes I feel like because I am so much of Raine, I can't not help but infuse myself into Raine, and I'm actually a kind of chaotic person. I'm a Gemini,
Yes.
so
You got
watch
birthday
out.
coming up.
So that's my answer, Raine.
Okay, I agree.
You agree?
I do. Yeah, you are like
they had a
so.
rebellion.
Yeah,
And the bats.
and you're
You're
so
right.
untethered. Like you are prepared to do anything. Like at the end, like you're gonna keep
Yes.
Ida out of it. Like you're prepared to do anything.
Yeah.
Whereas Ida is so whether she likes it or not, so family oriented,
Yeah.
so tethered. She is always gonna have that as
And
part
I mean,
of her
you
journey.
see that with the like, I don't want to lose my sister. You know, I don't want to
She
get
did all
kicked
that
out
for you.
because I have my sister there.
Yeah.
You know,
That best friends, like
Raine's just like, fuck everything.
Yeah. You're ready to burn it down, and that's a lot of bravery. No, it's incredible.
Yes.
And back to your liplessness.
Yeah, what is that?
Inquiring minds want to know.
What if we gave Faust like lips?
Oh, there's gonna be
That's
so much
another
fan
flashback.
art. There's
Another
gonna be
flashback.
fan art of
Your
Faust
big
with
juicy
lips.
Like those candy lips? You know, those
Yeah,
big
yeah,
red
those wax
candy
The,
my
the
God.
Cinnamon
yassified,
lips.
yeah.
Draw a Faust with like those giant arms.
Yassified Faust.
Make him like a brat stall.
Like
Yeah,
I need
like
to
a brat
see,
doll,
I
yes.
need to see the mouth chart
Brat
for
doll.
animation.
The mouth chart.
Yeah, it's open or closed.
I'm sure I could dig it up.
Please.
Also, just a shout out. They just shout out. They said we've been hanging out with some cultural icons. We had Sonic and now Bugs Bunny.
Oh, thanks. I love owls.
So,
Yeah.
It's
we covered a lot of. We tried a lot of territory. I want to know. This is my favorite question. What's Principal Faust's daily routine? These are the
man.
examples. Does he brush his teeth? Does he go to the chiropractor?
I mean-
what's his behind the scenes? And I think, obviously, Zach, you should chime in here a lot too because you have a lot of input.
Yeah, I think he lives in the school. like I think it's like okay. Here's
doesn't go
I'm
home.
pitching this right now. If there's ever like in the far future, like where there's like a spin-off series where we go to the past and like whatever.
Yeah, spin-off
This is
series
maybe not
manifested.
canon. But like maybe it is canon because I'm proud to work on it. Tara and him lived together. There was a bad breakup. He lost his lips in the process.
Wow.
He's living in the school.
you did used to have.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, they were voluptuous.
And they were
Yeah.
lost in the fight.
And yeah, it's like real sad. And so it's like it's the only place he has any control, and so he exerts it so like wildly because it's just like it's all he has.
God.
I didn't think he was so far afoot with that expelling for chewing loudly. I was with you. That would gross me out
about
too.
the squeaky
There's no
shoes?
for that.
Yeah.
But there's too much
shoes.
squeak, and he's also not wrong about
But
that.
if they're too quiet, you can't trust them.
Yeah, you can't hear
And
them.
if you're living
Can't trust
alone
Yes.
in a school,
Full of
like
demons.
yeah, you need to know when like things are like
Boundaries.
creeping around. Yeah.
You can't trust nothing.
Okay, wait. I have a question. Did Kiki Mora go to Hexside? Like, what's her deal?
Oh.
Does she get a
She's from
bachelorette?
Palm Springs.
Yeah,
She's
she's
from
Palm
Palm
Springs.
Springs.
Oh, that's right.
She's not
that's
local.
right.
She's a high school
She's
dropout
from
as
out of
well.
town. Okay.
Which
I heard it
prom,
here.
though?
She's a high school dropout.
Yeah.
Bonesboro's on the wrist of one of them.
Okay,
I don't
Bonesboro's
remember
on the
which arm
wrist.
though.
I guess I didn't realize that.
Oh my god, that's what it means by I can't stand it. I know.
Palm Stings,
Oh
yeah.
my god, I already thought
So
Palm
where's
Springs and I
Palm?
was delighted.
It's on,
Where's Palm Stings?
it's on the other
On the palm.
Oh, geez.
Palms.
That's what I
But
mean.
Bonesboro's on one of the forearms
missing
somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of
palm?
puns that happen on the L House.
Like a palm
Okay.
tree.
Well, like
So
like
you're-
Latissa is like
So
latissimus
it's on the
dorsi,
palm.
like the muscle.
Yeah, like these guys.
Yeah.
like
Oh
palm
my
Springs.
god.
Yeah.
It's all
The
biology,
knee,
guys.
It's the knee.
The knee is the knee.
The knee is on the knee.
Yeah.
On the
That
knee.
part I
Literally
followed,
the knee.
yeah.
That's
Isn't
the
that
palm
where
of the
Raine
leg
is
is
from?
behind the
Oh,
knee.
Yes, I got that.
I believe.
What was I going to ask? Oh my god, I had a question and it's gone from my head. I don't remember what it was. Sorry.
So, were you watching this for the first time?
I watched
Lil?
it twice.
No, but I mean, did you ever get to see the script? Because you don't
Oh no,
speak,
I
right?
just, so I recorded lines as Baby Lilith.
Oh, okay.
But
did I, so did I for
yeah,
Baby Raine.
so I think they had all
Probably
of us
for
try
scratch,
it.
yeah.
At
least.
But listen, I have sounded like this. I have had this deep voice.
I know.
So apparently I didn't sound young enough.
There
So
was
Neither
one
did
episode-
I.
There was one
And I
episode where
tried.
you had a Lilith line, a young Lilith
yes,
line.
I did when they were with their dad.
Yeah.
See, that's nice. It's just
No, it's just
we
I
needed a moment to give all the young artists a chance. To
know, and they
Oh
did
my
a
God.
great
And they
job.
did a
Killed
great
it.
job.
They really did a great
They
job.
left it for dead.
They really
It's
did.
true. Yeah, I tried too to do a young voice, but I think they were like, but we needed to recast Wendy Malick for young Ida, and they're like, it just sounded weird for it still to have like reminiscent of your voice, even though you were trying to sound younger.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad they found Blue.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, they did a really great job
Yeah.
finding
Yeah,
it.
it was so fun because okay. Also, I have to shout out that fan art at the end of the episode. That loose trio.
Oh yeah.
That's
She
what I was
playing
gonna
asleep.
say.
That fan art's my favorite
Must
thing.
resist
Is so
sleep. Is that what it said?
yeah, at the bottom.
It's like-
She's like trying. That's all my notebooks. They're always like just wavy lines by the end because I was always asleep.
One of my favorite things about like Luce has an artistic journey over the course of the series
Yes.
that
Yes.
Dana is like constantly pushing. Where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's been a bit. Like she would be better at art, and she'd be like at this stage in like the kind of shit she
And
would
it was
draw.
so good.
It's yeah. No, I mean like like the Ale House has like sick designers.
Yes.
Like
Yes, they really
it's
do.
it's just talent across the board.
Okay, so the final scene when Raine is there with the little tiny abomination and the little thing comes out. Are we allowed to know what that paper was? Does it say? I forget.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. It's
so
So it
see what
says
it
that's the
says.
Day of Unity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the plans
Okay.
for the Day of Unity.
So those are the plans for the Day of Unity. The Day of Unity is this big secretive thing. We have no idea what's going to happen except for a draining spell.
Yes.
Right?
and the door is moved too. There's a
Oh,
little
dear.
side note that says the door has been moved.
The door has
Oh,
been
dear.
moved. That's right. That's
no.
right.
Bellows, you bitch.
Get ready for
God.
pain, y'all.
Pain.
The pain is on its way. And with that, I believe Hollow Mind is already out where some
I
of
know
the-
people are probably like
you're probably
Is
that
midnight
right?
drop.
Seamless
It's soon.
transition.
The
Go.
midnight
TMI
drop.
spoilers. Tag your spoilers.
Yeah,
guys.
tag your spoilers.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Spoilers,
for
Zach,
this
where-
episode
yes, tag
specifically.
Tag your spoilers. I'm coming after you.
How many
I'll
more
do it.
episodes
Yeah,
are there?
I'll send him after you, and he's
For-
scared. Season two.
And I don't have lips.
Dang.
You wouldn't want someone without lips standing
Ben's
at your
race.
doorstep.
Okay, because there's 20 now.
Yeah.
Zach, where can people find you?
Little things
You can find me on the internet.
Okay.
You can find me on like
Wait, I went on your website. It had a clever name.
oh, Zach Sleeps Here.
Exactly. There.
Yeah, it's like my website's super
I
old. If you
missed
want to see old comics that I did and like some really bad college animation, it's ZachSleepsHere.com. Zach ZACH. Yeah, you can also find me at 454 Tattoo in California.
Except he's not
Or
there.
except I'm not tattooing. You just like find me there.
Plug. House will give you spoilers.
I'll give you the juiciest spoilers. They're not necessarily going to be real, but like you'll get them.
Eric, where can the people find you?
In real life, usually shopping at Ralph's at Burbank and Van Nuys. In Van Nuys. If you're there, I'll tattoo whatever you want. I am not a good tattoo
Sharpie.
artist.
But he does always have a tattoo gun in his pocket.
But on Instagram and Twitter at Bowzilla. So
That's all, Owl House.
Oh my god.
I die.
Your soul isn't healed.
Rebecca, where can the people find you?
Find me at Hey Rebecca Rose on Twitter.
Amazing. Avi Roque.
Instagram AM Roque, Twitter OK_or Roque, and TikTok Avi_Roque.
Do you have any audiobooks coming out?
Audiobooks. Yes, I do. I just can't off the top of my head figure. I can't say.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
follow
yeah,
them
yeah.
Anything
online.
else
to
that
get
we
updates.
should be watching?
Yeah.
Anything new juicy that you either of you have coming out?
Yeah,
too?
any fun
Plug
things
You need to
come
plug
out?
anything that we should keep our eyes peeled for?
I think Bugs Bunny Builders is coming out, which is like a preschool version.
Yes.
Where they didn't find younger versions of us. They just, I was like, just pitch us up. Just pitch us up a little. That's all you gotta do.
Use the computer.
Trying to find a kid to do a voice.
You can't replace me.
Yeah.
If they did, though.
Miss
fine.
Nikki, where can people find you?
Same old. Snarkulator on Twitter and Snarkulator on Instagram. I am on TikTok. There is nothing. You'll find nothing
We'll
there.
do some videos.
So, yeah.
We'll do some videos.
I just
We'll
want
do
you to know I'm
some
making them
videos.
for you. I keep deleting them. So
Okay.
the effort's been made.
And
Understandable.
I'm Cissy.
I
and we
can't
love you.
keep up.
Thank
It's
you,
too much.
everybody, so much. Thank you, people, for being here.
Yes,
Thank you for tuning
Much.
in.
Enjoy the new
Thank
episode.
you, selfie stick.
We'll see you next
Bless.
week.